The requirement today is to combine for each customer ID in this result set the phone numbers as we have them in a single row, such that we have one row for customer ID 1 and one row for customer ID 2, but then with their phone numbers lined up next to each customer ID as we have it here. This will be the result for customer ID 1. Again, if you look at the list, the horizontal list, it has got the phone numbers sorted in ascending order, such that you have the one that started with 102, 158 until 922. So, but if you run just this query ordered by customer ID, you get all of the results going down in vertical format. So how do we achieve this? Today we are going to be looking at an SQL function called string agg. The string agg function is an aggregate function just like sum or AVG, the average one. But instead of numbers, it concatenates values from multiple rows into one result. So you would see that is the perfect function to solve our problem. It concatenates. Concatenation means combine together values from different rows into a single row as we have it here. So what is the basic syntax for string agg? As we can see on the screen, the string agg takes two parameters. The first one is an expression, which is the column or value you want to combine or concatenate. The second is a separator that you want between as you are doing the combination. Like if you look at our results on the screen, each phone number is separated from the other by a pipe. So using that basic syntax example, we will end up with a query that looks like this. If we scroll down, and for the purposes of this exercise, I have narrowed down to just one customer ID so that it can be simpler for us to digest. So you see customer ID 1 has got 5 rows of phone numbers. So going down, let us see how we can apply the syntax. So we are going to end up with a derived column that is going to be formulated from the string agg function. So the expression that we want to combine is the phone number column, and the separator we want is a pipe. In your case, it could be a comma or anything else. So let's go ahead. If you look at the query, it's very basic. We've applied, since it's an aggregate function, we will have to use the group by, the same way you use for the sum, for the average, and other aggregate functions in T-SQL. So we have applied a group by, but then the last part is where I have narrowed it down to our single customer ID for simplicity's sake. Later on, we are going to remove that. So if we run this query, we will see that we now have our results. And if we expand this, we would see that all of the phone numbers have been combined into one. If we quickly do a check here, if I say, select what are the two columns, we have the phone number, we have the customer ID, and then we have the phone number from our table where customer ID equals to 1. Let us see. So you see we have 5. If we run the two queries together, it's looking like it's correct. So we have 922, 922, 158, 158. But that is not the end of the exercise. So what we just checked was to make sure that we've gathered all of the relevant rows for this single customer into a single horizontal line as we have it there. So the requirement further said that we should sort these phone numbers in ascending order. So if we do that, we should end up having the last one there, 102122, as the first one. So the string arg has a parameter that you can add. It's an optional parameter. You can add it for when you want to when you want to perform some action, like to sort the values you have within the list of strings or values you want to combine. So if we look at the next command, it is still very similar to the first one we had, but now we have introduced something here. So we have introduced the within group parameter. So the within group parameter, with that, we're able to sort the phone numbers in ascending order. We know that by default, it is in ascending order unless we want to say descending. So today we want it in ascending order. So we know ASC is optional. So even if it's not there, it's still going to work. So let us see what we get now. Now we have the results again. I'll briefly make a copy of this so that we can do a combined view down there. But before we do that, let us expand. It looks like it's sorted. But if we run the two queries together for more clarity, we will see that 102.122, which is the list phone number, if we go by numbering, sorting by numbering, comes first, and then 999.922 comes last.